Hello and welcome back to Beach Bumbling. At some point in the week you might want to change the scenery or do some different things, so what we did for the day, we went on a Jeep tour. That also included a boat tour, a stop at a ranch for lunch. Oh, great food there, debatably the best food we might have had there all week. Then we went to a beach and we did some snorkeling and scuba diving. First time in my life I've ever done that. It was on my bucket list, so I was jacked to make that happen. And then we ended up at a cave called Cave Saturno. And we checked that out, went swimming in the cave, and you can get drinks and stuff there too. But anyway, we booked that through the Club Kiwama. That's where we stayed. If you haven't seen our videos, I'll link them at the end in our Cuba playlist. And then we'll tell you how much that stuff costs for the day. We'll show you what the day was all about. Probably break it into two parts because there's a lot going on here. So pack yourself a cooler, put on your Cuban hat, let's go for a ride. Since our hotel, Club Kiwama, was the closest to where the Jeeps were, the bus that picked everybody up at different resorts, we were the last stop, which was cool. It was about 15-20 minutes to where the Jeep yard was. We gave them my license, signed some stuff, and then we were in a Jeep, the four of us, and you could get a driver provided if you wanted. I think you had to pay more for that, but we decided to drive ourselves. If you're going to be the one that's driving for your group, just know that these are standard transmissions, so if you're not accustomed to driving those, you may want to decline driving and get a driver.
Okay, somebody's going to get lost here.
Oh yeah, that's where the crowd gets broken up.
Train coming out, we goes. There's two lanes, you go. I got road rage in a new country.
Surprise. Yeah. That was bound to happen.
Yeah. So after driving through some small towns and some rural areas, we ended up at Rio Canamar Park. You'll know you're close because you'll see this spectacular bridge that spans the Rio Canamar, which is the Canamar River. Quite the bridge.
Lazy river. Yeah, no silly.
After driving for about a half an hour, our group came into the protected area of the park, and then we're going to go have a quick orientation and get on our boat. At a length of 314 meters and a height of 103 meters, this bridge is considered one of the wonders of Cuban civil engineering. It's the longest and tallest bridge across Cuba, and it's not too shabby to look at. After the life jackets are handed out and all the groups are assigned a boat, figure out who you want in the driver's seat.
Of course, we get the slow driver. No, I just kidding.
Then the leader will take off, and then you follow him down, single file down the river. He kind of controls the speed so nobody gets completely crazy. And just a tip, don't swerve your boat back and forth left to right. The people behind you are going to get the wake from you, and that's a little bit annoying. So that did happen to us. And there's lots of vegetation up on the banks. It's a nice leisurely little cruise. There's a good breeze down the river that day when we were there. But it was fun. It was something different. We enjoyed it, and we would all do it again. There is a covered area here that you can get snacks and a drink afterwards. They've got a couple shops, and you can get a souvenir picture taken here with some locals. For a fee, of course. All in all, that stop was about an hour long, and now we're back in the Jeep, headed off to our next destination. After about a 25-minute drive, you go to another protected area. This was called Laguna de Maya. Here was the snorkel portion of the day. They also had a couple craft shops. You could get something to eat, something to drink, play with the cats. You could also order a lobster here. You get 2 for $20. Little word to the wise though, Al ordered his before he went snorkeling. They put it on right when he left, and when he got back it was overcooked quite a bit. So if you're going to do that, maybe order it after you go snorkeling, or if you're not going to go snorkeling, it's probably not going to be an issue. What we didn't know when we booked it was that they had $35 scuba there, and I've never scubaed. I've always wanted to do it. I never wanted to put the money out to take the lessons to know if I'd be interested enough to want to keep doing it. But so this was a perfect opportunity for me. You did not go under 10 meters. You had a guide within feet of you the entire time. You did about a 40-minute orientation before you went on to get used to the equipment, learn some hand signals and things like that. We weren't really that far offshore. You just walked in off the beach. We had a viewer named GOA that had mentioned that scuba diving is one of the most dangerous sports in the world. You may want to get certified or take some lessons. I do not disagree with them. It seems safe. It passed my smell test. There's another guy on our tour that is certified. I asked him some questions. If he said, "Does this look legit?" And he says, "Yeah, actually, looks pretty good, and you're not going to be that deep, so you should be fine." So everybody has their own measure of what their own safety is. I was pretty comfortable with what I saw there. I'd been in a resort orientation in a pool with the equipment on, so I was at least familiar with that. But we had some people that had never even touched equipment. They looked like they got through it pretty good. And I've always wanted to do this, and for $35 US, I was not going to do it. And it was really good experience for me, and it's encouraged me to probably get certified now. If you'd like to support our channel, please give the video a like below. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the bell to be notified when we make a new video. All those things really help us get found in the searches on YouTube. Thanks. If you saw earlier videos, you're going to know that we had some bad weather there, and the guy leading the scuba trip here said that there weren't as many fish out there by the reef right now because the water had been so rough. Don't know if that's true or not, but from my experience, I've seen a lot more fish at other places. Even though a lot of the fish took the day off that day, there were still a lot of cool things to see underwater. This guy's pointing up at all the people snorkeling above us and not to go up. There are going to be times where the people in your group are fairly close to you, so just be aware of your surroundings. The water temperature was nice though, it wasn't uncomfortable at all. A lot of those Nemo fishes everywhere. It was kind of overcast that day, but you could certainly tell when the sun came out. You could tell how much brighter it was underwater. Some of the colors under there were just phenomenal. You see these things coming up a lot snorkeling. They always remind me what I think a brain would look like. Here you can see one of our instructors. It's one of the people that said they couldn't swim that well, so he's making sure that they're taken care of and nobody's going to bump up on them. The highlight of it all was swimming through this tunnel at the end. If you didn't want to, you didn't have to, but they did control how many people kind of went through at once, which is probably a really good idea. But for first time scuba diving, I just thought that was pretty cool. Is this the best scuba diving? Probably not, but I'll tell you what, if you're just trying to get an introductory experience to it, this was well worth the $35. I can't stress that enough. You should be long enough to at least know if you're going to love it or if you're going to hate it. You know, as luck would have it, when I started seeing some good fish and some nice things, I realized that the case I had my GoPro in was leaking underwater. It's rated for 30 meters. I bought it off Amazon. It's kind of a no-name thing, so, you know, maybe shame on me. But anyway, so if you see some blurry kind of stuff across the screen, that's the water swishing around inside that case. I didn't notice it was going on. This reef looked to be pretty healthy compared to some other ones I've been snorkeling at in the last couple years. The instructors were really nice, very helpful, very polite. I can't tell you how happy I was to find this place for $35. Just kind of renewed my interest in wanting to get certified, like I said. And there was a lot more fish near the end. From the time we got in the water to the time we got out, it was probably about 25 minutes, I would think. We were a little bit longer than the snorkel group from the same tour. Just an awesome surprise for me today. So there's nothing left to do now but take back my equipment, and then I'll go meet Kim, Al, and Karen back out of the Palapa, maybe have a drink real quick, and then we'll get out of here. If scuba and snorkeling wasn't your gig, you can always get a massage here too. Coming up in the second part, we're going to go to a ranch. We'll show what that looked like, and then we're going to end up at a cave called Cave Saturno, and we're going to go swimming down there. We'll share the cost of the trip. We'll tell you some things you might want to bring with you. And for all you Canadians out there, hope you're having a good May 2-4 weekend. Until the next time, cheers.